Did Angela really her pants during the film Weapons? Let's find out. Hey guys, welcome back to our channel. Today we're going to be discussing the film Weapons, directed by 𝐦𝐨𝐬.
Here's the synopsis. When all but one child from the same class mysteriously vanish on the same night at exactly the same time, a community is left questioning who or what is behind their disappearance.
Ooh. So I already saw this film once and I could not wait to bring Sissy here, and I couldn't wait to see your reaction. What did you think, Angela?
I loved it. Finally, I can say I loved a movie. And there was a lot of hype around this film. Mm-hmm. It lived up to the hype.
Definitely. But did you your pants?
Oh, yeah, a few times.
I'm telling you, it even got me a second time because I did cover my eyes the first time, so I didn't know what I was closing my eyes to.
Here's the thing. We all know that I despise jump scares.
Yes.
Mostly, I mean, I hate being scared like that, but there's also another reason. I feel like it's cheap. I feel like it's just a cheap way to throw in a scare to get you to react. But the jump scares in this movie were so different because they were intentional. Mm-hmm. They needed to be there, in my opinion.
They were very well placed.
Yes. They just weren't something where they just threw them in there for like, what the hell, let's just scare the audience.
Right.
They needed to be there.
And some of the scares, too, were just creepy and just creepy visuals. Mm-hmm. So, which we'll get into later when we talk spoilers. But I absolutely loved this film, and I loved it a second time. I know going into it a first time, you really shouldn't know anything. But
which I didn't.
Yeah.
I avoided all social media. I didn't look at a thing. So I really went in blind.
Right. But going into it a second time and knowing, it was interesting picking up on things that I didn't pick up the first time.
Can we talk about some of those things?
So you want to spoil it now?
Yeah.
All right. So this is your warning. If you have not seen Weapons yet, this would be a good time to shut this down and come back later after you've seen it. But if you don't really care about spoilers, continue on. But yeah, let's talk about it. Watching it a second time, I thought I was so clever because I figured some things out, but people are talking about it all over the place on social media and stuff like that. I was like, ooh, they're talking about parasites here in this one scene. There was a scene where the principal is actually watching TV of ants having cordyceps growing out of them. And then earlier on, you hear the teacher, Justine, talk about a tapeworm. And then in a dream sequence, you see on the bulletin board or the chalkboard, it said parasites. So basically, the villain in this film, Gladys, is like a parasite. She's feeding off of, the parents and the children and stuff like that, the parents of the little boy, Alex. So, I mean, that was interesting. I didn't get that on first watch, that she was a parasite.
And I didn't get it until you explained it to me.
Yeah.
But
I'm not that clever because everyone's talking about it. I thought it was like a hidden metaphor.
Well, maybe they heard it from someone else.
Yeah, who knows?
So, can we talk about some of my favorite scenes?
Yes!
Okay. The scene, I guess the two cringiest scenes for me was the one where they were sitting at the table with the forks. And
oh my God.
I don't know what it is, because it was that scene and the other scene was the one with the peeler.
Oh yeah. God.
They were both so disturbing.
Yes.
I don't know what it is about household items being used as weapons. But yeah. I mean, it was just so, I had to actually turn away.
Oh, I heard you.
Yeah, I was like, no. And I couldn't even look at the screen. They were so sick.
I know.
And it's funny because and I know everybody else is talking about this, but there was a lot of comedy in this too.
Yeah.
And you wonder, you have to be a very, very clever filmmaker to be able to make a movie that's this disturbing as far as horror and thriller go, but then also have comedic elements to it.
Yeah.
Very impressive.
One of the funniest scenes, in my opinion, but it scared me so much. I screamed, and there was no jump scare whatsoever. But when Justine is outside in her car, she's drinking, and then she ends up passing out in front of Alex's house, and it's nighttime now, and all of a sudden the pans over to the door. The door opens, and you see Alex's mom. Although you didn't really know if it was the mom, I assumed it was the mom. And she comes her hair's all crazy. She comes walking out with something, which I didn't know what it was at first. And she's like walking all weird, and she's coming close to the car. And then it pans over to her standing next to, what's her name? Justine in the passenger seat. And then she wiggles to the back. And it was so funny to me, but it creeped me out. And then you hear the car door open, and then I lost it. I just started screaming. And then, of course, it turns out that she just cuts a piece of her hair and then leaves her alone. But man, was that creepy. But it was funny.
Yeah, you know what we didn't talk about was the fact that this was told in a non-linear way.
Yeah.
And that is always, for me, an enjoyable experience. They did it in Strange Darling.
Yeah.
But even like Pulp Fiction.
Sure.
I can't think off the top of my head of some others, but I love when stories are told like that.
Me
and
too.
You get to see it from the perspective of someone different. The same scene, the same situation, but just from somebody else's perspective. So interesting.
And it's so exciting to find out exactly. It's almost like a tease.
Yeah.
You start getting towards the end, and then all of a sudden you're starting over from someone else's perspective. But it's almost like enjoying the journey and not the destination, even though you enjoy the destination as well. It's
a good analogy.
Thank you. But getting there, it was so exciting. And I totally agree with you. I love that way of storytelling.
Josh Brolin was phenomenal in this. Julia Gardner, she was terrific.
Yeah.
But we have to give a special shout out to Gladys. But
my God.
Who played her? What was her name?
Amy Madigan. She
stole the show.
Oh my God. My favorite scene in the whole movie is one of your cringiest scenes, but it was my favorite scene at the dinner table where she's talking to little Alex and saying, "You're not going to tell anyone about me. And you're not going to tell anyone that your parents are sleeping the way they are. Because if you do, you see what I can make them do. And I could even make them eat each other," she said.
Oh, gosh.
Her face, though, the way she said it, I believed everything she said. I was terrified of her. She is... But she's also funny.
Yes.
Like when she went to the principal's house, she kind of was like, "Oh, look, a giraffe. And then, oh, look at this. And I bet that's real." And she was a funny character, almost like a Rosemary's Baby, the lady, the neighbor.
The neighbor.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, she's funny like that, but terrifying.
What did you make of the gun at the top with the 217?
On first watch, I was just kind of thinking about school shootings.
That's exactly what I was thinking too.
And like Sandy Hook, that's kind of thing that came to mind. Mm-hmm. And then I was also thinking, well, he's kind of like a strong-minded individual. Maybe he was dreaming about, I'm getting ready to use a gun on her. I mean, he used, not that this is really in compare. I mean, at least he used a paintbrush and wrote "witch" on the side of her car instead of using a gun. But I mean, that also came to mind. Like, oh God, is he going to go and use a gun on her. I didn't know, but reading some of the trivia was interesting.
So one interesting theory is that there was a bill in 2022 that would have banned assault rifles, and it passed the House with 217 votes, but it did not pass the Senate. Now, didn't the writer-director deny that?
I think he did.
Yeah.
He denied it, but that sounds so coincidental.
Sure does.
I don't know. What did you think of the significance of the time 217? Did you get that? Did you get the little Easter egg there?
I did not.
You didn't?
No.
All right. Well, I mean, again, I would have to look it up to make sure if he's denying it or not, but 217 is the original room in the book adaptation of The Shining.
Oh,
Yes.
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 Ah.
And
you know what's interesting? Because with the bathroom scene, when they were chopping down the door, that's what I was thinking of.
That's right. That's right.
Interesting.
Yes. I think that was intentional, but we could be wrong. Who knows?
One of my favorite scenes in this was the end when the children were released. And,
Yes.
And they went on a rampage to get Gladys. And the fact that they ended up eating her, which is so funny because Gladys was the one who was saying, hey, if you tell anybody about this, I can make your parents eat each other. So then she ends up getting eaten.
Yeah.
It was brutal, but so fun to watch when they were bashing through the windows and running. I don't know how they filmed that. The cinematography in this was phenomenal.
It was great.
They did such an amazing job.
And I loved how Alex kind of, from watching Gladys the whole time, learned how to use her witchery against her. I thought that was pretty cool.
Which jump scare was your favorite or got you the worst?
I'm going to have to say it was, it happened in Justine's room. She just woke up from a nightmare. And she kind of, it's all dark in her room, and every room in this house, in the houses in this film were dark, but it was dark in her room and dark down the hallway, and she kind of like leaned over to look down the hallway, and she didn't see anything, and you're expecting to see something. So that's like why I was so, very tense at this moment. And she didn't see anything, so she took a breath and just kind of fell back on the bed, and then right above her on the ceiling was Gladys's face. And I just, that got me so good. And
did it get you both times?
Not so much a second time, but the first time I screamed so loud. But there was another time though that I closed my eyes and I actually screamed with you because I didn't see it the first time because my eyes were closed. And it was during Archer's dream sequence when the little kid turned over and was talking to his son.
Yes.
And then it turned to Gladys's face.
Right.
My eyes were closed there. So
Gladys's face sucked.
It's going to be a great costume for someone this year. You know that's going to be like everyone's costume.
I'm sure of it.
What did you think of the witchery going on? Like, especially when she went to the principal's house. And that's when you learn kind of what's going on here, where exactly how she does it and stuff like that. She took a piece of his ribbon and she wrapped it around a branch and then cut her hands and then put it in a bowl. Oh, she asked him for a bowl of water instead of a cup of water. But what did you think of that witchery? It's kind of creepy.
It was very creepy. She was not who I thought she was going to be, and that's one of the things that I liked about it, is that it went in a different direction. I had no idea this was going to be about witchcraft.
Yeah.
And I loved that element of surprise.
Yeah. What did you think about that scene when he gets witched, the principal?
And he was running through and crawling under the car.
Oh my gosh.
That was oh my gosh, it was crazy. It was total mayhem.
Yeah.
And I know that they used his face in like some of the posters and some of the trailers and stuff. but it still freaked me out. He had
Yeah.
a very, very expressive horror face.
Yes.
And I loved his character. He was one of my favorites.
Yes, yes. And that scene where he bashes his husband's head in, that was really
Brutal.
That was brutal, a hard watch. It's just terrible, terrible. So overall, I had such a blast watching this. It was one of the most exciting films I've seen all year. And, you know, coming from a year that like had Sinners, which I was a huge fan of Sinners, and I found this even more exciting than Sinners. I mean,
I agree with you. Sinners was great, but it was slow moving at first, and even up to that surprise element with it. I think because this was told in a nonlinear fashion, that is why the excitement just stayed with you the entire time.
so if you saw Weapons, what did you think? What did you think of the metaphors and the floating gun? I mean, you know, tell us, enlighten us, because we're not really sure.
Nope. Thank you so much for watching our review. Please remember to like
And subscribe.
See ya.
Bye.